I'm going to start with what I pretty much learned. Actually, I learned this a couple weeks ago. It just got solidified this weekend. Something everybody needs to be aware of, especially if you're in the industry. Cow hypo is about to hit the ceiling. It's huge shortages, huge price increases shortly coming. So if you're a cow hypo company, you might ought to, stock up. If you can get it, go ahead and stock up on it.
Say what cow hypo is.
Calcium hypochlorite, it is a granular shock that some people use. Not everybody uses it. Okay. We use it some, but it's not our main thing. But you know what? This is probably a good thing. It'd probably be a good thing for the industry to get weaned off of cow hypo. Okay. Because cow hypo is probably the most volatile chemical that we deal with. Oh. Calcium hypochlorite, you can pour Coca-Cola in it and it will start a fire.
Yikes. So, well, maybe we don't need to use it.
Yeah, I mean, so, this, all right, let's look at alternatives.
I was about to say, what are the alternatives?
The alternatives are, sodium hypochlorite, which is liquid chlorine, which has been having its own issues this year on shortages and stuff like that. The alternative sanitizers and stuff like that, which is really starting to make a big impact on the industry. The major biolabs, I'm sure if you're following the industry at all, you've seen that biolabs, their new plant is up and running, and which is better than some of the estimates. So it's going to be up and running, but they don't do cow hypo there. All they do there is trichlor and a few other products. So that's going to be up and running. So tabs shouldn't be an issue anymore, but the cow hypo and possibly some of the other algicides and stuff like that, there's other core ingredients that are becoming a problem. Okay. Crewing the product. Well, they just
getting the product.
Just getting the raw materials to put into the products is becoming a problem, and the price of that is becoming a problem. So that's something, but that's kind of taking me into the alternatives. The alternatives, which were well represented at this show. Everybody's coming up with their own, and even the big three are really working on theirs, but the UV, the ozone, the AOP, I got a good interview. It'll be posted probably within the next 4 or 5 days. A really good interview with Clear Comfort and their products. I've used Clear Comfort. Great product. It's NSF 50 certified, so it can be used, their commercial brands can be used on commercial pools. It's a great product, and it really reduces the amount of chlorine that you need. But here's the problem with all these alternatives. UV, ozone, AOP, and mineral systems, they don't do away with chlorine. They just reduce the amount that's required. Even if, no matter how good these get, we still got to have chlorine, but hopefully we can use a lot less of it. And hopefully if everybody starts using some of these secondary sanitizing products, then maybe we can use a lot less shock, which is what the calcium hypochlorite is, and the sodium hypochlorite. We can use less of those. Maybe, it's going to help us balance out and actually probably help us manage our pools better. And manage our pools with less money in the long run, not in the short run. It's like in salt systems just a different way to get chlorine in the water, but you still have to shock with salt. But typically, if you have a salt system and you're shocking, you're using either a non-chlorine shock or you're using a stabilized shock like dichlor, which is we're still having a hard time getting that from the very beginning of COVID. I saw a lot of those types of products on the floors. Like I said, I did get an interview with Clear Comfort, and please watch for that on our YouTube page because that's a pretty good interview.
Right.
And, and I'm seeing an incredible bump in technology. And what kind of, I was a little bit disappointed that the big three were not there because they're supposed to be the industry leaders, right? Right. They dominate the planet. They should have the best of everything. But they don't. They really don't.
Sometimes the big three changes. The big three in 2000 is not the same as big three in 2010. It's not the same as 2020. It's not the same.
But the big three in the pool industry has been the same guys for probably they're buying up each other. But the big three are pretty much the same people in the last 20, 25 years. It's Pentair, it's Jandy, it's Hayward.
Things change.
They weren't there, so they couldn't show any of their new products. So
they don't have any.
And you know what? And that's kind of my problem, is they don't. Mm-hmm. They stick to what they have, and they just keep making it. And because people keep buying it, and yeah, they make some improvements here and there, but dadgummit, why aren't they really buttoning down and really going after this better technology?
There's that thinking that, probably your parents, my parents have, that, hey, we created the best of the best, so why change it?
Yep.
Here's what we know. So maybe that's what they're thinking. But I don't think that's going to take us into 2023.
No.
I think there's some stuff happening.
We'll see, because there's so many shortages and stuff like that, some of these smaller companies were able to get a bite and actually get some, put together some funding, and because they had product available, so they were able to create some new clients, and they're really doing well. And some of the things I was most impressed with, and I actually ended up getting a interview with all three of these. One was Pool Attendant. Pool Attendant is a control system. You've probably heard me complain in the past about, if they got a Pentair IntelliFlow variable speed pump, I can't put a Jandy control system on there because they don't communicate.
You have to communicate with the same system.
And so and there's a little bit of crossover here and there, but they really try to just bite at each other's heels and make each other's lives miserable. In the meantime, this gentleman, brilliant man, basically revolutionized the automation of the restaurant industry, sold his business and had a pool built, and decided that, that's the best y'all got in technology. So he put his giant brain to work, and he created a control system that is freaking unreal.
Is it kind of like the two phone systems? I don't want to mention the two phone systems that don't work together.
Yes, we're like some things are Microsoft, some things are Apple, and they won't cross.
Exactly, and so sometimes they don't communicate together.
Well, here this guy comes in like Steve Jobs and just like, screw you guys, I'm going to talk to all of you,
how to do all this.
And I'm going to do it better than you do it. And he did.
Up.
He did.
Wow.
This Pool Attendant system, we call what we have automation, but it's really like 1980s technology.
Oh gosh, we were in high school in 1980.
And this guy it's incredible. It's called the Pool Attendant. It's incredible what it can do. I can't even begin to touch on the extra controllability and the extra personalization that his system has, and the intelligence of the system. And we
have this on our pool, right?
No, we do not. We may.
When are we getting it? I was about to say, when is it coming?
And then there's a PAL Lighting. Got a really good
PAL Lighting.
Yeah, Ben Forrest. I've known Ben Forrest is our
Benny.
rep. Well, we love Ben, and I had a really good. He's taken me through all his products, and holy cow, it's ridiculous. Why hasn't the rest of the industry been doing this? Why haven't these companies that are selling lights to their clients time and time and time again? Why aren't they coming up with a better product? I'll tell you why. They don't have to.
PAL, P-A-L
Lighting.
I sat there and watched that interview. And you were like, yeah, I'm just going to interview Ben for like 5 minutes. Going through all their products, it was literally 45 minutes to an hour.
Everything they have is a step above everybody
ridiculous.
Else's. And there's probably some other small lighting companies. Now, PAL's not a small company, but they've just never really got a real good foothold in the pool industry.
Right.
I think it's about to happen because people, since all these shortages started happening, people are trying other stuff because they had to, and people are coming across the PAL Lighting, and they're going to be coming across this Pool Attendant, and I'm telling you, people, they're better. And I'm hoping
interview and that video, because you're going to post that, right?
Right, I'll get that posted.
Yeah, because it's crazy.
What I'm hoping is the big three will finally take a turn and start bettering their products. And I'm not saying the big three have bad products. It's just they just have the same crap they've always had. They don't really care to improve it.
Yeah.
So